साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री gurave namaha. Om Narayana. Today is Sunday. Okay, so we are giving talks to more for Europeans, so not for us. Our people also can listen, but this I explain certain details, keeping the Europeans in view. European means the West. Non-Indians, non-Hindus in view. But they are also Hindus since they study Bhagavad Gita. They have become Hindus. So, Sarvabhutastham Atmanam, this 29th shloka, we have finished. Sarvabhutastham Atmanam, Sarvabhutani Chatmani. So, Atma, which is present in all the beings, all the living beings, living and non-living beings, Sarvabhutastham Atmanam. So, we see the Atma. So, this statement is correcting our misunderstanding. We have a thinking, the common man has a thinking that I am in this body, not elsewhere. I am in this body, not in everybody. Okay? Do I see that I am in everybody and I am also in every object? No. I see myself as this individual and the world is around me. World is other than me. World consisting of living and non-living things, living beings and non-living things. Such a world is other than me. I am a living being, I am an individual facing the world, interacting with the world, I am in relationship with the world. This is our understanding. So here Bhagavan Krishna is trying to correct this. When he is giving an alternative understanding, the understanding is opposite to our own understanding. It implies that our understanding is a misunderstanding, and what he is pointing out is the right understanding about oneself. See, Sarvabhutastham Atmanam. So, Atma is oneself. How am I? The I, myself, I see limited to this body and mind and sense organs. Okay, not in others, not in everybody, not in all other things, both living and non-living. Therefore, he says, your Atma is in fact in everybody, in all the objects and in all the living beings. This is a new point, this is a revelation. This revelation goes against my own understanding that I am limited to this body alone. It is correcting my understanding about myself. That means I look at myself through the body. As a somebody who, as a subject functioning through sense organs, functioning through mind and sense organs and staying in the body. Okay, this is my understanding. This understanding is corrected. How? By showing that look at the whole world, whole avastha, waking, dream and deep sleep. If you look at the three states, who is aware of the three states? The consciousness which is aware of the entire waking as an entire state, dream as a whole state and deep sleep also as a state. All the three, one who is aware of, the consciousness which is aware of is not an individual, isn't it? So, the consciousness which is aware of the entire waking state is not within the state. I take myself to be an individual within the waking state. It is correcting our understanding. Bhagavan Krishna is correcting our understanding. You are not within the state. Look at yourself. The whole state is within you. Means the whole world is within your state. Your consciousness is so vast, so broad that you are aware of your entire wakeful consciousness. So the world is within the wakeful consciousness. Then your body is part of the waking world. The waking world is part of the waking state. The waking state is known to the wakeful consciousness. Okay, not only the body, even your sense organs are within the waking state, because sense organs don't function without the body, without using the body as a location. They use the body as a location. Okay, the sense organs function through the body, and mind only coordinates all the knowledges brought by all the five sense organs and also adds its own. Mind has its own perception in the form of emotions and thoughts. Okay, and the data brought by the sense organs, all the five sense organs put together, mind is aware of, and it processes and comes to a decision about the world outside. So this sense organs, mind, intellect, and the notion of I, all this is a part of my waking state. Okay, all this is part of my waking state. So the me is not an individual, it is consciousness without a I notion. Because when I am aware of the entire waking state, I include my I notion within the wakeful consciousness. So the consciousness is not limited to I notion, because I notion appears in consciousness, in the wakeful consciousness. It changes in dream consciousness. The same consciousness is continues in dream. The same wakeful consciousness drops off the waking I notion and remains, picks up another I notion. It is within another I notion, but in deep sleep it drops off all I notions. It has no I notion. The consciousness exists without an I notion. It is the I notion that brings me into the world, within the world. When I am without an I notion, I am not part of the world. World is within me. I am not a part of a state. The state is within me. So consciousness is so broad that it pervades the entire waking state and also extends beyond the waking state. It shines the dream state, also exists on its own. Then it is called as a deep sleep. Consciousness existing without a relationship with any state is called a deep sleep. Deep sleep is all myself all alone, me without an I notion, without an individuality, without any relationship with another state. Means without any relationship with anything other than myself. I alone remain. The I is not an individual I, note it. It is all pervasive I, all inclusive I. Then you can't call it I also. Because when it is all inclusive, all pervasive, entire universe is one entity, then it is not an individual. You can't use the word I. The I only means it's a direct experience. That's what it means. The I word when we use, in deep sleep, I alone exist, all pervasive. This word I doesn't refer to individuality, because individuality is a relative. Individuality is a relative to the world. Okay, so I am free from all the states, waking, dream, and all the states. I stand just myself. The myself is not an individual, note it. In deep sleep, I am just myself, all alone. Alone in the cells, there is no second, that's all. All alone doesn't mean isolated individual. Okay, I am all alone in deep sleep doesn't mean I am an isolated being. There is nothing to isolate. because there is nothing other than me. It is all inclusive. All inclusive. It is secondless. It is just secondless. So that all inclusive, self-existing cell, Atma, alone is present. Therefore, he says, Sarva Bhutastham Atmanam. In the 29th shloka of the Gita, Sarva Bhutastham Atmanam, Sarva Bhutani Chatmani. So he discovers that Jnani as a result of his Nididhyasana taught in the 6th chapter. First he did Shravana, later Manana, then Nididhyasana. As a result of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, he comes to discover his self, comes to see his self not as related to the body, not through the association of the body, not through the association of sense organs, not through the association of mind, but in dissociation with the body, means independent of body, independent of sense organs, independent of mind, but all by himself. Himself means there is no second, there is no relativeness, there is no exclusiveness. There is no exclusiveness, there is no relatedness, because there is nothing to relate to. Whatever is included in me. So that me is a different me. It only, we use the word me or myself or I, all this only means it is experience, that's all. The word I, with reference to the absolute truth obtained in deep sleep, the word I is used in a different sense. It shouldn't be taken as an individual. The I means it is an intimate experience, undeniable experience. It is just a very self-evident experience. A self-evident, undeniable, all the time, a continuous experience, which is ever evident. So this intimate, ever evident, immediate experience, undeniable, and unceasing experience, all pervasive experience. Since that it is an experience, we are using the word I. I only means an intimate. See, even in, why should we use the word I to refer to the Atman in deep sleep, which is non-dual? Because the word I in the waking state refers to such an Atman which is the most intimate compared to all other things in the world. Compared to all other things, this notion of I is most intimate. Now there is nothing more intimate than the notion of I. Beyond the I notion, there is no notion. Without mind, without any thought, without any notion, you alone remain as consciousness. Pure consciousness, non-dual consciousness. So this I notion is used because it keeps you, it separates you from the rest of the world. Because the I notion refers to me as an individual in common meaning, in common parlance. It means the I notion excludes all other things in the world, all other things in this thing. So therefore, even the body, mind, everything it excludes and refers to me. That means the word I, even in waking state, refers to something which is an intimate experience, which is a closest experience, which is a natural experience, not a tentative one, not an acquired experience, a tentative experience, which is just me. Therefore, the same I word, though is not applicable to Atman in deep sleep, the word I, though is not applicable to Atman in deep sleep, because in deep sleep it is non-dual. The word I cannot be used in its direct sense. In its direct meaning, it can't be used. In its implication alone, that word I is used. Something similar to I, it means something very intimate, that's all it means. More than it, if you take literally a word I, then it doesn't apply. Because The word I has a different connotation in waking state. Word I is something limited, excluding all other. Okay. So the Sushupti Avastha, the deep sleep Anubhava, the experience of deep sleep also is referred by the I, not in the sense of isolated exclusive self, but in the self of self-evident natural self. Only in that sense. It is a natural, self-evident self. Not in the sense of exclusive, isolated from the rest of the world, because there is nothing to isolate. There is no second to it. In deep sleep, there is nothing second to it. It excludes, isolates nothing. It excludes nothing. Therefore, it is all. It is the wholeness. It is everything. All the time, place, state, everything merges into deep sleep. The entire waking state and dream state merges into deep sleep. So when you are in deep sleep, it is not a state, because it is timeless existence. It is existence without time, neither beginning nor ending. Neither it has got a spatial limit nor temporal limit. I mean, time-wise. No time limit, no space limit. And therefore, it is not an exclusive subject, because it includes object also. When it includes object, you can't call it even subject. See, when it includes object, it includes both subject and object. Then what can you call it? It is indivisible into subject and object. There is no division of subject and object, but it is one whole one, all one, secondless one. So that experience, so the word I is used to refer to Atma, that is oneself, because it is a very intimate experience, unavoidable experience, because you never miss it. It's neither is an acquired experience, nor it goes away. Neither it is an acquired experience, nor it departs from you. That means the beginning and ending cannot be thought of. It is ever existing. And also spontaneously, naturally existing. You don't have to bring a thought. You don't need an intervention of a thought, even a thought also, because it is aware of even the thought. It witnesses even the thought. Therefore, it is witness of the thought. The witness itself is self-shining. Self-shining in the sense, it doesn't need a thought to come to be known. In order to be known, it doesn't need a thought. I'll give you one simple example. It is also part of, in a way, Atma only, but it is a common man's experience which can be understood, which can help us to understand the witnessing Atma, Sakshi Atma. How, take the normal example, normal event of our life. See, you are in waking state. Okay. When you are in waking state, anything other than you, when you have to think of, what do you have to do? You need to entertain a thought about it when you want to refer to it. When I say book, as I said the book, instantly a thought is formed in your mind about book. Then you come to know, yes, I understood. What do you mean when you ask? I say book. Okay. Next word, a tree. Next word, then something else. So anything I want to refer to, when I refer, you come to understand it only when a thought is formed in your mind according to that object that I am referring. Either when you are listening to or you are perceiving. Whether you perceive or whether you think of it, only thought has to be formed about it. Then only you come to know it. Okay? This is common experience about anything, but there is one exception. When I ask you about your waking state, okay? When I ask you to think of anything else, you think. It's possible to think, and you think. That means instantly when I refer to something, instantly you think of a thought of it. Then I ask you, what about you? Oh, what about yourself? When I say book, you entertain a thought of book. When I say pen, you entertain a thought of a pen. When I say tree, a thought of tree occurs. When I say sun, thought of sun. Moon, stars, mountain, as I refer, a thought of it occurs, then you understand. Yes, I understand mountain. Yes, yes, I remember. When I say yourself, do you need a new thought to occur in you? A thought of yourself? No. A thought of wakeful state. Being in wakeful state, being in wakeful consciousness, you entertain thought about anything else. So to know anything, you need a thought. But to be wakeful, when I say your wakefulness, do you think a new thought arises in you? When I refer to anything other than you, a thought arises in you. When I talk of something else, the old thought goes away, another thought arises. When the thought arises, you come to understand it. Okay. Similarly, when I want to talk of yourself in waking, a wakeful self, wakeful you, do you need to wait for a thought to arise to be able to know that you are? You don't need to wait for any thought, because before the thought arises, you exist. In all other cases, thought has to arise to be able to understand something. But to be able to understand yourself, before thought arises, thought of yourself, thought of me, before the thought of me, I exist. Exist without I thought. In that consciousness, I thought arises. Okay. But it doesn't need the I thought to be self-conscious. Self-conscious means to be conscious. To be the self, you don't need a thought. To think of anything else, you need a thought. Through thought alone, you come to know it. But to know yourself, you don't need a thought. You only have to remove all other thoughts, and that's all, you are there. Okay. So similarly, to know you are witnessing, to witnessing consciousness doesn't need another thought to rise. All the thoughts, you remove them, you erase set aside all other thoughts, negate all other thoughts, then what remains is a self-shining. You don't need another thought again. Okay, because that's a natural, it is natural to ourselves. Therefore, the I word is used only to bring your attention from all other thoughts. When all other attention from all other thoughts set aside, even I thought is not required. The thought of I, the notion of I is not required. When you say Atma is yourself, this thought is only a tentatively useful to negate all other thoughts, then it also disappears. You remain without even I notion. Okay. You remain without even I notion, because that is independent. The consciousness without I notion is independent. An I thought may arise. When I thought arises, it arises along with this thought. Okay. The individual I notion cannot arise without this. The I is an exclusive related to this. I and this, they go together like two sides of the paper. When you pick up a paper, you get two pages, this side and that side. You can't pick up one page and leaving out the other page. Okay. You can't pick up a paper by taking only one face of it and leave out the other face. You can't do that. When you pick up the paper, two sides come in. Similarly, I and you, subject and object, are interconnected. In fact, they are not two. It is one thought we divide in our thinking. But the thought itself is not dividing. It is one. But generally we divide subject related to object. So this subject to object put together, take it as a one block and one thought you are aware of. So that you is without I notion, because I is related to you. I is related to this. But this witnessing consciousness is non-relative. It is not related to anything. Consciousness, witnessing consciousness, Sakshi Chaitanyam, exists without being related. It doesn't depend upon another object. That means in order to be conscious, in order to be consciousness, it doesn't require a thing to be illumined. See, sun illumines not because we exist here. Even if we go away, sun continues to illumine. How? Because sun's illumination is not a relationship. Okay? Generally, we think knowing is a relation. Knowing means a knower and known. Knower should know something, then it is a relationship is called knowing. Okay? The relationship is knowing. But here, witnessing consciousness is not a relation. That means sun is shining because its very nature is to shine. Its very nature is shining not because it is related to something, it is illumining some object. If its light was a relative, it always requires another object to be able to illumine. But sun doesn't require an external object to illumine. Without an object also it can illumine. Blankness it can illumine. It illumines even the blankness. That means light doesn't depend upon another thing. Light is all alone. Its very nature is light. If thing is there, it gets illumined. If it is not there, it doesn't matter. If there is thing is there, it gets illumined. If it is not there, even that absence of a thing also is illumined by consciousness. So consciousness is thus an independent entity, is not a relative thing. It is a non-relational, self-existing entity. Okay. So this Atma is Sarvabhutastham Atmanam. Such an Atma exists in all the beings. Exist in all the beings means what? This consciousness pervades the entire waking state. In the waking state, all living and non-living beings are found within the waking state. So the witnessing consciousness pervades the entire waking state. Where does the consciousness sit while illumining the entire waking state? Think. I put this question again. Where does the consciousness exist? Where does the consciousness sit when it illumines the entire waking state? When it illumines the entire waking state, where does the consciousness exist? Means, how is it related to the waking state? No relationship, because it pervades the entire waking state. Just as a clay is, in clay there is a pot. A pot is made from the clay. So, where does the clay exist with reference to pot? With reference to pot, where does the clay exist? Below it, above it, one side of it, one corner of it, in the center of it. Where does the clay exist with reference to a pot? Does it exist in the upper side of the pot, lower side of the pot, middle of the pot, left of the pot, right of the pot, front of the pot, or back of the? Where does it exist? Where does the clay exist with reference to pot? You cannot specify any relationship. You cannot specify any point. Any point, at what point of the pot the clay exists? Because clay exists in all points, all aspects. The entire pot is pervaded by the clay. In short, there is no pot other than clay. Okay. Similarly, the gold also. With reference to an ornament, where does the gold stand? In what aspect, in what relationship the gold stands to the ornament? You cannot put any relationship. No relationship is possible. Can we say that the gold exists in the upper portion of the ornament, lower portion of the ornament, left of the ornament, right of the ornament, middle of the ornament, or front of it, or back of it? No, you cannot put any relationship. Why? Because the gold is the ornament. It pervades the entire ornament. There is no point where gold is not. There is no point of the ornament where gold is not. Okay. So with reference to ornament, where can you see the gold? Where the question itself is wrong. With reference to pot, where is the clay? Where means which aspect, which part and which angle of it, in which relationship the clay stands with reference to pot. You can't put any relation, any angle, because there is no point in the pot which is not clay. There is no point. Because the entire pot is pervaded by clay. In other words, pot alone is called as a clay. I mean, clay alone is called as pot. Pot is only a name of the clay. Pot is only another name for the clay. What really is only clay. Is only clay and nothing but clay. Similarly, consciousness, the witnessing consciousness. How does the witnessing consciousness get related to the waking state? From the standpoint of the waking state, how does the witnessing consciousness get related to? No. You mean at what point is the witnessing consciousness to the waking state? Upper part of the waking state, lower part of it, left of it, right of it, middle of it, where? No relation can be put, because the entire waking state is nothing but consciousness only. Sarvabhutasthamaatmanam. The entire waking state is consciousness. In fact, there is no such thing called waking state apart from consciousness, just as there is no such thing called pot apart from clay. Pot is only a name for the same clay. Okay. The ornament is another name for gold. There is nothing apart from gold. You look from the standpoint of the gold, there is only gold, nothing but gold. What you call ornament is already included in gold. What you call pot is already included in the clay. Okay? What you call pot is already included in the clay. Similarly, included means it's never it has never a part. It has never been in a pot apart from the clay. Similarly, the entire waking state along with the entire waking world is never apart from the very witnessing consciousness. Where does it stand? With reference to the waking state, there is no relation. There is no relationship because it is everything. The consciousness is everything of the waking state. Everything means, in other words, it is the consciousness alone. The witnessing consciousness alone is called by another name as waking state. In fact, it is just the consciousness, witnessing consciousness. Okay. Therefore, he says, Sarvabhutasthamaatmanam. See the Atman. That Jnani sees the Atman as existing in all beings. Existing means what? Existing as a content of it, as the truth of it, as the substratum of it. Just as one clay is present as a substratum of many pots, one gold is present as a substratum of many ornaments. Similarly, one Atma, that is witnessing consciousness, which is not an individual, is forming the basis of the entire waking state. It constitutes the truth of the content of the waking state, the truth of the waking state. Because snake has got a rope as its truth. Rope is the truth of the snake. True means the content, the essential nature. Snake, when you see the rope is the content, rope is the reality, rope is the truth of snake. Snake has no place to exist. Snake has no place to go. Even if it wants to run away, it can't go. Okay. Therefore, anything Any karya is included in the karanam. Any ornament is included in the gold. The entire waking state is included in the witnessing consciousness. So there is no point where the witnessing consciousness is not present in the waking. Every moment, every second, every experience is within the consciousness. Every experience is within the consciousness. Okay. This is what he says, Sarva Bhutastamatmanam, see the Atman as the content of, as the truth of everything. Means nothing is apart from him. That's what it means. He is the whole entity. He is the whole being. Nothing is apart from him. You can't think of anything other than the consciousness. Anything you think of, you are thinking only consciousness. Isn't it? Anything you think of, you're thinking only in your mind only in your consciousness. Therefore, sarva bhutastamatmanam. Next, sarva bhutani cha atmani. Okay? Atma is present as a substratum, as the truth, as the content of all the being, all the living and non-living beings. Now coming from the other side, sarva bhutani cha atmani. All the beings are within him. This again is a correction of our misunderstanding. I think I am here and the world is around me, apart from me. That means you see the world and the living beings and non-living things as apart from me. I am somebody who is excluded from all these. I am in an exclusive place. So this is a wrong thinking. To correct this wrong thinking, it says Sarva Bhutani Chatmani. All the bhutas are within the Atma. All the bhutas, all the living and non-living things are included in the self-existing Atman. Because the self-existing Atman is the truth of the entire universe, truth of the entire state. Therefore, waking is not something apart from deep sleep. Deep sleep is the truth of waking, is the content of the waking, is the essence of waking. It is all pervasive. It is not only pervades the entire waking state, it stretches beyond its boundaries. It goes, the consciousness pervades the entire waking state and also goes beyond its boundaries. Going beyond its boundaries means what? Waking state is swallowed by the consciousness. Waking state not only pervades the entire, witnessing consciousness not only pervades the entire waking state, it goes beyond the boundaries on all four sides. All four sides of the waking state, it goes beyond its boundary. It goes beyond its boundary means what? How are we to understand? That means it can see the edge of the waking state. It can see the ending of the waking state while itself surviving. Consciousness itself survives the ending of the waking state. Okay, the waking state ends while I survive. The witnessing consciousness survives even when the whole waking state dissolves. So this consciousness, which stretches, which goes beyond all the boundaries of the waking state on all its four sides. When it goes beyond the waking boundaries, it means it sees the edge of them. That means when it sees the edges of all the four edges of waking state, where does the waking state stand? Waking state falls into the consciousness. Waking state gets included in the consciousness, then the consciousness stands independent of it. When it swallows the entire waking state, then it stands independent of waking state. The deep sleep, the self-existing Atman or witnessing consciousness swallows the entire waking state. Okay, it swallows the entire waking state. It has no shape. The state has no shape. When it merges into Atma, there is no shape. There is no particular form, because everything is itself. Everything is one whole Atma. Therefore, he says, Sarva Bhutani Chatmani. All the bhutas are within the Atma. Atma is the content of all, and therefore all are included in the Atma. This Yoga Yukta Atma Pashyati. The Yoga Yukta Atma, a person who has concentrated his mind, means he has reached the culmination of concentration. Culmination of concentration is standing one with the Atma. The mind stands one with the Atma and not as a mind. Mind stands one with the Atma and not separate from it. Separate means what? Mind standing one with the Atma, not separate from it, only means that mind ceases to be mind. The content of the mind is Atma. There is no such thing called mind. In fact, it is the Atma wrongly seen is called mind. The consciousness seen in a limited way, in a wrong way, is called mind. Therefore, the mind merges and the consciousness stretches beyond all the four sides. The mind merges into consciousness and mind ceases to be mind. So there is no such thing called consciousness and mind, because consciousness is the truth of the mind. It is the reality of the mind. It is the content of the mind. Mind itself ceases to be in relation to the Atma. In relation to Atma, where does the mind stand? It has no place, because the mind merges back. Atma is the wholeness in which the mind merges. Okay. Therefore, here he says, Ikshate Yoga Yukta Atma. Yoga Yukta Atma, one who concentrates, sees what? Like this, everything is oneself. Sarvatra Samadarshanaha. And he sees everywhere the same. Everywhere the same means what? He doesn't distinguish the relative values, relative value of various things and beings. If you compare with them, any object, any person, anything, you compare one with the other, each one has got some extra quality and other one has got some less quality. So all these are comparisons. But he says, Sarvatra Samadarshanaha. He doesn't distinguish them. See, as long as you see a form as a form, it has got its own distinct features. And in some point, it is different from others. It is unique with reference to others. Okay. So only when you take the world in a limited sense, in a given thing alone, this kind of division arises. Otherwise, when you see the entire as a one, that means one object is not distinguished from the other. Like one wave is not distinguished from the another wave from its standpoint of water. When you look at it as a water, you look at it as a water. Look at one wave, you see it as a water. Look at another wave, again water. Look at a third wave, it's a water. Look at the fourth wave, still it is water. So when you look from the standpoint of water towards the wave, you see all waves are only water. All waves are nothing but water. Similarly, all pots are nothing but clay. All the ornaments are nothing but gold plus ornament, you can't say. Where is the plus ornament? All the ornaments are nothing but gold. Similarly, the entire state, all the living and non-living beings are inseparable from the one existence, one consciousness. Nothing is apart from consciousness. You cannot think of even them. You cannot even think of it as something apart from consciousness, because it is within consciousness, and consciousness absorbed them, totally absorbed in it, and the consciousness alone pervades in and out and up and down and middle of the middle and beginning and ending and middle also. Everything. Everything. Okay. Sarvatra Samadarshanaha. Sama means oneness. He sees that oneness in all the things. That means he doesn't to distinguish, you have to stand as an individual. Identify with the body, mind and sense organs. When you identify with your body, sense organs and mind, you become an individual. An individual lives as a part of a waking state, but witness not like that. Witness sees the entire being as included in it. It alone stands as everything. Okay, therefore, sarvatra samadarshanaha. Next, yomam pashyati sarvatra. One who sees me means the Atman, everywhere. One who sees the consciousness everywhere. That means he never misses consciousness. One. And anything he sees, it includes in the consciousness. If you don't include alone, if you don't include, then you see the consciousness and something other than consciousness. There is nothing other than consciousness because everything is included in consciousness. Nothing is excluded. Therefore, yomam pashyati sarvatra. One who sees me everywhere. Everywhere means he doesn't see anything other than Atma. Don't put the two things. One Atma and many. One and many, if you keep on thinking as a two, if it is one, there can't be many. Then many is only appearance of the same one. The same one is appearing as many. That's all. It's like number 10, you divide into 4, 4 and 2. Okay? You see them as 3. 1 10 you are seeing as 3. Are there 3? In the 10, how many are there? You can see it as a 10. You can see it as 2 5s. You can see it as 4 plus 4 plus 2. All these divisions mean only 10 only. All these divisions are not outside 10. They don't extend beyond 10. They are included in the 10. Similarly, everything is included in the Atma. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. One who sees me means the witnessing consciousness as everywhere. That means he sees as Atma is pervading and excluding nothing, and nothing is left out of Atma. Okay. Yomam pashyati sarvatra, and sarvancha mayi pashyati, and sees everything in me, because everything in me, that means nothing is away from me, and sees himself as everything. That means whenever you see anything, you are seeing the self only. When you are seeing anything, you are seeing the Atma only. The Atma alone is appearing as that. Whenever you see any ornament, you are seeing only gold. Whenever you see any pot, you are seeing mud pot, mud. You are seeing the clay. Okay. Therefore, tasyaham na pranashyami. To such a person who understands this as a non-dual, self-evident, self-shining and non-dual, to such a person na pranashyami. I never miss him. Achamena pranashyati. I never go away from him, nor he even goes away from me. Sachamena pranashyati. Neither he misses me nor I miss him. Okay? Both of them, we don't miss each other. That means there are no two, both are one only. It's only way of talking. The same Atma is absorbed into the one non-dual self. Therefore, tasyaham na pranashyami. That means I never go out of sight for him, nor he goes out of sight for me. That means I see him always in my heart. Tasyaham na pranashyami, sachamena pranashyati. 30th shloka we have finished. Then the 31st. Sarva bhuta sthitam yomam bhajatye katvam astitaha. Phalam, moksha phalam. What is the phalam of this understanding? This understanding gives you liberation. In fact, it doesn't give you any new liberation which you are not. It doesn't give you anything new which you already are not. Which you are already not. That means I only come to understand I am already free. That I was bound is only a false thought. I was never bound. Nobody was ever bound. That I am bound is only a wrong thought. You are always free. You are always free. Any wrong thought is within the consciousness. Anything is included in the consciousness. Therefore, tasyaham na pranashyami. I never go away from him. nor he goes. Sachamena pranashyati, neither I go away from him, nor he goes away. That means neither he and you, there are no two things, it is only one non-dual. It only means there is only one. Okay. Sarvabhuta sthitam yomam bhajatyekatvam astitaha. One who sees me, one who adores me, ekatvam astitaha sarvabhuta sthitam mam. Me who is existing in all living beings as their content, as their truth. Okay? Sarvabhutastam atmanam. Tasyaham na pranashyami. Okay, that's over now. Sarvabhutasthitham yomam bhajatyekatvam astitaha. He worships, he adores as one. Here you have to note it. Adores doesn't mean, worships doesn't mean again the worshipper-worshipped relationship, adoring, adorer. Bhajati means he stands it. He stands as it. Sarvabhuta sthitam yomam bhajat ekatvam astitaha. Ekatvam astitaha, becoming one, bhajati, 31 it is? Yeah, 30. No, 31, let us see. Ekatvam bhajati means here, bhajati means attains, adores. Here attaining is not a newly attainment. Adoring is not a new adoration as somebody other than me. Adoration is not an effort, it is an effortless existence. A natural state is called adoration. The natural state of non-duality, the natural experience of non-duality is interpreted as if an adoration. See, when you love some person, do you see the person outside your love other than love? Or you include the person in the love and he becomes my love? Means lover and beloved and love, all the three become one only. That means there is no relativeness. It is not a relational thing. It is a one unity, one undivided being. Similarly here, sarvabhutastam titam yomam bhajatyekatvam. One who bhajati, one who adores me, means adoration is not an effort, is not a sadhana, it is an existing fact pointed out. Already he stands in that adoration. He already stands in that love. The self-love is such a beautiful infinite love that it looks very adoring. Okay, adorable. Bhajatyekatvam. Such a person who sees the one universal consciousness including everything and itself is non-dual, all pervasive, all excluding, and nothing remains other than him. Therefore, sarvabhuta sthitam yomam bhajati ekatvam. Such a person, sarvatha vartamanopi, in whatever condition he is, however he is working, in the social conditions, in economic conditions, he may be, means from the external standpoint. From others' standpoints, in whatever condition he is, he remains in his nature alone. That means from his own anubhava, he remains as Brahman. For others, he may look to be doing that thing or this thing. It's like waves may appear in different forms, but they don't go away from water. They never miss water. Similarly, ornament may change, but no ornament moves away from gold. No ornament misses the gold, moves away from the gold. In fact, in whatever form it is, the ornament is, it is inseparable from the gold. In whatever form the ornament is, yet it is inseparable from the gold. Similarly, in whatever condition his physical body, mind and sense organs are present, all of them merge into one consciousness. Therefore, sarvatha vartamanopi sayogi mai vartate. Wherever yogi is working, he ultimately exists in me only. Sarvatha vartamanopi, in whatever condition he appears to be from the outsider, as himself, he is inseparable, one with the Atman alone. Sayogi mai vartate, he always remains as inseparable, as indivisible from me. Me means Atma, the consciousness. That means in whatever appear like a actor, in whatever role he is, no role is away from the actor. In whatever role he assumes, all the assumed roles are inseparable from the actor. Okay, that means there is no role apart from the actor. Similarly, there is no world, no state, no I notion apart from the self-existing, all-pervasive pure consciousness, non-dual consciousness, self-shining consciousness, self-existing. You don't have to look for it as a given place. It is not a place. It's an experience. It is avoiding one perspective. You don't stick to one perspective. You shift from, you look at the things from various angles. You understand all angles, and your understanding is perfect more than anybody else. Similarly here, sarvatha vartamanopi, in whatever condition the role is, all the roles are included in the actor alone, even while they are appearing to the audience, even when they are appearing to the onlookers, all the roles of the actor are already included in the actor. They don't go away from the actor. They don't move away from the actor. In fact, they don't exist apart from the actor. Though audience sees as an actor, as a role, but the role itself doesn't exist for the actor, because it is me. What you are seeing is myself alone. See, you play a role of Rama and Krishna, then you say Rama, you look at you, where am I, Rama? It is me only. What you call Rama is included in me. Similarly, whatever functions, whatever role he assumes in this worldly standpoint, all those roles, all the entire waking state is one with the consciousness. So nothing moves away from the consciousness. Okay? Atmopamyena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna sukham va yadi va dukkham sayogi paramo mataha. This one shloka we will deal with in the next class, and also thereafter one mano nigraha upayam. In the nididhyasana, it is the mind that interferes. How to remove that mind, how to transcend the mind and see the Atman, that has to be taught. Nigraha upaya. This is another nididhyasana. It is a nididhyasana's point alone. Mind has to be withdrawn, purified, and so that withdrawing, purifying means what? We are preparing the mind to merge into the Atman, because mind is Atman. There is no mind apart from the Atma. We are only wrongly, by mistake, we see it as a mind. Otherwise, there is no such thing called mind. Mind is already in the consciousness. Our mind is inseparable from the consciousness. We wrongly see mind is something, an entity. There is no such thing called an entity. There is no such thing called mind. Mind is not an entity. It is inseparable from consciousness. The same consciousness otherwise called as mind in a given perspective. Mind means a given perspective. Seeing it as a total is called Sakshi, Atma. Atma is total. Seeing one aspect of it, taking one aspect of that total Atma is called mind. Okay? The mind is only various aspects of one non-dual, indivisible whole Atman. Therefore, Sukham va yadi va dukkham sayogi paramo mataha, 32nd shloka of 6th chapter. This we shall deal with it. And Manonigraha Upaya also is very interesting. Two questions Arjuna asks at the end of the 6th chapter. One question is about this control of the mind. Second question is, if a person takes sannyasa and spends all his time in meditation alone, suppose his meditation doesn't fructify. That means he doesn't, if he is not able to reach the culmination of his meditation and discovering the Atma, all round non-dual Atma, if he fails to discover, that means the meditation has become incomplete, and before he attains the non-duality, discovers the non-duality, he leaves his body. What will happen to him? All his efforts go waste. What will happen to him? All his effort will go waste, because he has not attained Brahmatvam. But he has been meditating and doing all those things. He is sannyasi, meditating. He has not done any other punya karma. All other karmas he gave up. All other pujas, all our worldly service, everything he gave up dedicated his entire life, devoted his entire life for one meditation alone, then such a person has no other punya. What will be his fate? So this is the second question. Both the questions very ably and perfectly, excellently Bhagavan Krishna answers. We shall see them in the next class. And one more shloka, 32, a little bit is there. I have to explain a little bit. Then continue with the other 33, 34 also. Okay. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Every day some Vigna comes. Yesterday also I was just about to talk and something came and disturbed. Today also came and I sent him away, and today there is a class, so I sent him away. He says, you will come now. You told 12:15, you will come now again. So I thought, so I had to send him away for sake of class. Otherwise some visitors come, some disturbance. Om Shanti, Shanti.